Hello everybody, welcome back to Fans React. Today Sunderland were at home and we played Wigan, bottom of the league. Final result was Wigan 1, Sunderland 0. So yes, another disappointing game after 90 minutes. But there has been lots of things happening with the club recently. We've got a new sporting director and we've got a new head coach. So both young lads, hopefully they're going to need a bit of time, but hopefully they can start turning things around. People's already complaining about the new coach, saying we should have just kept Parkinson. I mean, seriously, come on. He's had about 3 or 4 hours to get anything changed at the club, so he's going to need a lot longer than that before we see any positive happenings. But yeah, he's called Lee Johnson. He seems canny. He's worked at Bristol City recently. He's had some good performances in the Championship, so you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that hopefully he can do the job for us. As for the game today, first 10-15 minutes, I thought we played brilliantly. We were passing the ball well. We were much more attacking minded. We were running at defences, passing the ball just so much better. But yes, it was short-lived. Another mistake again by Bailey Wright today. Very disappointing recently, the last few games. For me, he was always our best defender, and that's gone out the window now. For me, Conor McLaughlin is definitely the best defender, who was he was trying to get up there and he was attacking as well as defending today. So I was quite happy with him. But yes, once they scored, because of Bailey Wright's mistake, well, a couple of mistakes led up to the goal really, we just weren't really at it anymore. We were trying, but nothing happening. Same old story of lots of chances, getting the ball into the box and stuff like that, but it's just not working. For me, I said that instead of crossing the ball in, which we're not very good at, we should be just having a shot outside of the box. We've got players that can score, especially with Aidan McGeady back. He had a good couple of shots at the goalkeeper, tested the keeper. Gordon Ledbetter can score from outside the box. Max Power can score from outside the box. So even Maguire can. So we've got players that can score from outside the box. I would like to have seen a lot more of that, like sort of shots from outside the box rather than trying to cross the ball into nobody. Danny Graham's never going to get on the end of it, is he? So come on. Yeah, so that's what I would work on. It was nice to see him get the substitutes out at a decent time. Embleton starting, getting some game time, and Dan Neil. Excuse me. So yeah, there is positives to take out of today's sort of game result performance. There's no positives from the result. The result is absolutely terrible. So yes, we just have to keep our fingers crossed and see if he can do the job and turn things around at the club. Anyway, that's enough for me. We'll speak to the fans now, see what they think. This is their reactions, and I'll speak to you at the end.
Well, normally I would be very angry at this point, especially if this had been under Phil Parkinson. But we've got to give Johnson a chance, and the new director of football. It's that deeply ingrained in them, the Parkinson way, the negativity that now that even though we played some decent football going forward, they didn't know what to do when we got there. It was a poor performance going forward, to be fair. No matter what side he put out, there should have been enough enthusiasm to impress the new head coach to win that match against the bottom side, who have really struggled. I think the best we can hope for now is the playoffs. We're too far adrift of the top two, 3 points behind the playoffs, so that's what my focus will be on now, just hoping that we can get into them playoffs places. I think we will improve as time goes on. Johnson and the director of football and the new owners won't allow that sort of performance. I mean, 1 point and 1 goal against 2 teams that are in the bottom 3 isn't good enough. So we just got to give them a chance. I'm sort of torn today because I've seen some good football going forward, especially in the first half, until we give that sloppy goal away again. Unusually Bailey Wright, usually very reliable. He should have cleared it. He had a chance to clear it and he didn't. I don't think the penalty shout was a penalty neither. It would have been very soft if it was given. Man of the match for me today probably was Aidan McGeady. He was trying. It was nice to see him back on the pitch doing his little jinky runs and like basically taking the piss out of players. Basically, had a couple of chances. He'll only get better with games. I thought Denver Hume before he went off was poor again. So, you know, I'm very disappointed that we couldn't beat the bottom team, but we've got to give these boys now a chance to work with this squad and hopefully improve it next month in the transfer window, and hopefully get into the playoffs. I can't even remember who we're playing next, but disappointed, but we've got to give these lads a chance.
Might be a new manager in the dugout, but same old today, wasn't it? Pleased to say I missed the last 15 minutes of that game, but in truth I don't think I missed anything at all because I've seen it all before. Parkinson might have gone, but the legacy he leaves is a team of footballers who might know their positions, who might have some clue about possession, but have no clue whatsoever about breaking down a strong defence that's set up to frustrate us. That was my concern at the start of the season. We didn't really know what we were doing in the final third, and we lacked any kind of creativity or guile in getting behind defences. I think I said that after the Bristol Rovers game, and 2 months later I don't think we've learnt anything from it whatsoever. Great to see McGeady back in the team. The problem with McGeady is I don't think the other players always know what he's going to do, and he can't do it on his own. I thought him and Hume might start to put together some understanding when the game set off. In retrospect, I think we missed Hume and we missed O'Nien getting down the flanks today. But most of all, we just miss people willing to take a risk, a 1-2, anything that will create that space and time. We tried a few passes breaking through into the penalty area, a few people making runs, but it worries me greatly that our players lost faith and confidence as quickly as they did, because they started off first 5 or 10 minutes I think really well, and if they'd kept that up I would have had us down for a 2 or 3-0 win. But when that didn't come, and then when the Wigan goal did come instead, basically they lost it. They completely lost whatever intent and whatever mindset they'd gone into that game with, and that's a real problem in terms of the resilience of this team. Johnson wasn't my first choice for the job, but now he's got it. It's obviously part of a longer term project, along with the sporting director, and I hope his positivity and his willingness to attack will be drilled into them this week. We tend to do better away from home, but our run of results of late is relegation form, and so we've got to go to Lincoln. Johnson's got to take us to Lincoln, instilling some belief in the players, belief that they can score goals and they can deal with teams who defend against us, because at the moment I don't think we have the first clue how to get around that. I still hope beyond hope Greg might come good. I still know in my heart of hearts that Graham never will come good, and I realise that even having White back would be a bonus at this moment in time. The likes of Dan Neil and Diamond have got to be given a chance. We've got to see the youngsters come through, because if we're losing 1-0 at home to Wigan, then at least do it on the premise that our younger players are getting some experience. So, disappointing day after a strange week. Let's hope the takeover moves on quickly, because that's the final piece in the jigsaw we need, and let's hope Johnson can repeat the tricks that some of our previous managers have done, and that's perhaps lose the first game, but then from the second game onwards start to see a turnaround in fortune, because if not, we can write this season off as well.
Hi everybody, Sunderland 0, Wigan Athletic 1. Not really the result we wanted, if I'm honest. You know, Lee Johnson just arriving today, there was some evidence that the team wanted to make a bit of an impact for him. We came out really brightly. The game was fast paced. We took the game to them, certainly in the first 15, 20, 25 minutes. I think I counted maybe 4 or 5 corners in that time. You know, we were quick going forward, looked really good. Put a bit of pressure on them, you know, a couple of half chances, you know, McGeady with a shot that hit the side netting. But typically Sunderland, we conceded a goal from some really sloppy play, something that we really shouldn't have done, if I'm honest. And then Wigan did exactly what we knew they'd do. They put just about every available player behind the ball, made it very difficult for Sunderland to do anything, if I'm honest. So we went in 1-0 down at the break. Come up second half, we made a couple of changes towards the hour mark. Embleton come on first, Diamond followed him on. Why we're persistent with Danny Graham, honestly, just kind of baffles me, if I'm honest. But, you know, the club is where it is. The new sporting director, Christian Speakman, you know, was very articulate when he spoke this morning. Things are going to change at the football club, and hopefully Danny Graham's going to be one of them. Really disappointing game again, but look, he's not the only guy that was disappointing on that pitch today. Housegun keeps getting picked week in, week out. Rarely beats the first man at set plays, and it's so bloody frustrating. Good to see McGeady get on today. I'm surprised he lasted as long in the game as he did, if I'm honest. He's clearly been, you know, keeping up with his fitness regimes and everything else. So to get over 70 minutes out of a bloke who's been out for nearly a year is quite impressive. As I say, you know, there's a long way to go yet. It's Johnson's first game. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, barrack him, or, you know, not necessarily barrack the team, if I'm entirely honest. But, you know, things have got to change. We've got to do more with the ball, you know, be more creative, score more goals, and just get in amongst it a bit more. You know, we look really flat in the last 20-25 minutes of the game. You know, we kind of, you know, the first 2/3 of the pitch, it looked like we're going to do something, and then just breaks down to nout. And, you know, as a Sunderland fan, it's annoying. You know, we expect better, and we're just not getting it. And as I say, hopefully, you know, with the appointment of Johnson, who's a stats man, he works everything by, you know, statistics and numbers. So hopefully, you know, in the next, you know, weeks and months ahead, we're going to stay there or thereabouts, and actually with his ability, move forward a lot. And let's see what the new structure brings for us.
So the game has just finished 1-0 to Wigan, and I mean, I'm just so frustrated, I'm so angry, and we couldn't break down a Wigan side who have been so poor this season. I mean, fair play to Wigan. They came here, they got the goal, and they defended for their lives, and fair play to them. But Sunderland again, first half, we looked okay, but the final ball was so bad. Scowen, he can't cross to save his life. Grigg was so isolated, we gave him no chances. I mean, from Maguire, again, there are times when he can be a great player, but he's so frustrating to watch. I mean, for their goal, Wigan's goal, Bailey Wright, I don't know what he's doing. Last 4 or 5 games, he's not looked right. You get it right. I mean, I don't know why I'm joking. I'm just so angry. I'm so frustrated. And there were times when we got into good positions, but the final ball again, just pick a play out. Simple. It's not hard, but we just can't do that. We just can't win at the moment. I mean, even in the second half, it was poor as well, and I don't know. I mean, Lee Johnson, he's got his work cut out, because I mean that at the moment, where is the next win gonna come from? And I mean that are we even gonna get top 6, top 2 this season? I don't know. I mean that I don't even think that we will even get top 10 the way that we're playing. There are teams like Burton and Wigan who have been poor, and we're underestimating teams like these, and they're coming to the Stadium of Light, and they're doing a job on us. And at the moment, it is such a sad time for us as Sunderland fans. But that hopefully with the new guy in, there can be like a good bounce, obviously, that hopefully we win the next game. But at the moment, I'm just so angry, and now the whole day is really bad at the moment because when Sunderland win, it is a good weekend, and when Sunderland lose, or yeah, it's just really bad.
Well, it was promising, but it didn't deliver. Happy with Johnson. He's as good as we can realistically hope to get as manager, I feel. I like the way he spoke in interviews. Same with the new sporting director. I like what they've both got to say. Hopefully, moving forward, they can address the issues that we know the club has. Lack of creativity, lack of pace, lack of confidence, the wrong attitude amongst the players, lack of depth. But it's going to take time. Today was an example. We started off well. We were more attacking. We were on the front foot. But again, ball retention, quality of crossing, quality of everything really. Defensively was poor. Mr. Wright was culpable again. Not good, as he's our best defender, or was. Yeah, I feel positive. I think hopefully we've got the right people for the job. What we have to do now is show patience and give them time. This isn't going to be a quick fix. This is going to be a long, slow rebuilding process. We're going to need to show patience and support and just applaud the small improvements as and when they happen. Today was a low, but hopefully it was the lowest of the low and we'll start to climb soon. Fingers crossed.
We're doing great in the first half. I'm not going to deny that. Second half was poor. Wigan only had one shot in the entire game, according to the stats, and they scored it. Shouldn't be losing to a team like Wigan, but I'm glad a new manager is in. The full-time whistles just went there. It's not what he wanted, his first game. I'm glad McGee is back. A good player to bring back. He did decent for the passes, but it's a team you don't want to lose to, with them being the third win for them, and I'm not going to say embarrassing because it's his first game as manager, but we need to get better 100%, or we're not going to get where we want to be.
Have we reached our lowest point today by losing to the bottom club in League Division 1? Johnson and Spakeman have certainly got their work cut out. Again, it's the usual failings in the final third that mainly cost us today. Crosses and corners coming in, and their defenders easily dealing with it, and crosses coming in and the goalkeeper easily dealing with it, and crosses also coming in, decent ones, with no one seemed to be attacking in the box from our side. The other thing was I was a bit disappointed with the goal we conceded. Again, it seemed that Bailey Wright was at fault. He was easily turned and the guy put it in. There was positives, I suppose, today. That good to see Aidan McGeady in the side after a lengthy exile. And I think he was probably our most promising outlet. I mean, he had a chance in the first half where he put it into the side netting. In the second half, he made the space and in a good shot in, and goalkeeper made a good save. The other chance we had, obviously, it was crossed in by Max Power of all people. Josh Scowen was a good downward header, and the goalkeeper again made a good save. I mean, we had plenty of possession, but it's another fault of us that when it breaks on, we seem to slow it down too much, and that's obviously something that Johnson probably would have noticed, and he wanted the ball to go a bit quicker when the break is on. I mean, Maguire today had a very poor game. I mean, he was another one that he missed a good chance. He actually did the decent footwork, and then he blazed it over. But I think Maguire hasn't had. There's a few games now where he hasn't really been all that good, and I'm pleased that Johnson after the previous manager makes his subs a lot earlier. Although in theory it didn't really have an effect on the game. There's another week before there's a league game. I know there's a cup game on Tuesday, but hopefully Johnson will have time to look at his squad and do some training, fire up things, hopefully at the sharp end, because we really need to sort that out if we're going to get anywhere this season.
Not really good for us. To be quite honest, we should have easily beat Wigan. You know, we were dominating the game at the start, and then Wigan takes a lucky break, and that is that. But Lee Johnson appointed a manager. Hopefully, when he gets his hand on the team, he can get things turned around, and hopefully better results in the future.
There you go. As you can see, a lot of the fans are disappointed again, which is understandable. Yeah, some people say we need to give the new manager, the new head coach time to settle in and make some changes. And for me, that's spot on. That's absolutely fair. So yeah, we're just going to see how the next few games go. But that's going to be it for today. Appreciate, as always, everybody that sent in their reactions to the games. If you've liked this content, please give it a thumbs up. And subscribe as well. Why not? It's all free to do, and you get to see our gorgeous faces every time we get beat or draw or occasionally win. But yeah, I'm going to leave it as that. Thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and for now, we'll see you later.